Let me make sure everything sounds good. Alright, it says we're live. I'm not seeing it on Facebook. Or not Facebook, YouTube. There we go.
Where's everyone else?
Make sure everything sounds good. That's a good question. Alright, it says we're live. Alright, I think it sounds good. Let me just mute that. Yeah, so I think I talked to DLC. I think she's doing I think something's going on her end. She can't join quite yet, and then I'm still waiting for Maskino, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, we can just get going on my end here. But
okay.
How are you doing, man?
I'm not too bad. Just found out we are going to be on quarantine.
Ooh, that's no fun.
This week, yeah. There we go. This girl that we take to school, and she stays over at our place after school until her parents get home, became a positive for COVID.
Oh,
so
dang.
We are definitely exposed.
Let's see. I think Maskino's calling me.
So yeah,
I don't know what's going on with that.
Suck.
That sucks. Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
See, do I have to... Let me see, what do I do here? What's this do? Alright. Can you still hear me? Maskino?
Yep.
Or not Maskino, okay. He says he's here. Huh. I don't know. I gotta figure out how to join calls here. Turn off camera. I know you can definitely do more than one person.
Oh, you know what you have to do?
What's that?
You have to create a chat room.
Oh, do we need to do that?
I think you do.
Alright. I don't know. Add friends. Is it DM? Like the add friends to DM? Is that what that is? Maybe it's...
Sorry, my wife. Yeah, I don't know. I know Maskino has his own Discord. We could hop on there into a room if he has one set aside.
Okay. Okay, he says, in the call you should see a little person with a plus by his head. Click it. I'm not seeing a plus. Oh, wait. This? But that's not...
I'm in Maskino's Discord, but I'm not friends with Maskino. That's weird.
Huh. So you should see a little person with a plus by his head. Click it. Okay, I've done that, but that's like add reaction. That's weird. I have no idea. Wait, is it? Oh, whoa. I think I see something. Maybe it's this. Add friends to DM. Let's try this. Let's try this. Alright, I've tried this. Oh, I think it calls all of you guys at once.
Add chatter and Tropic Society.
Yeah, I just created one.
Okay.
Alright, let me try that.
Okay.
Alright. So, let's hang up this one. I'm gonna hang up this one, I'm gonna call you on the other one.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, let's try this. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hello.
Alright, that worked.
Go.
Sorry, I don't mean to annoy everyone. I just had to create this group chat of everyone.
Oh, you're fine.
So how are you guys doing?
And Dead Leaf is here. Cool.
I'm doing
Hi.
pretty good, fam.
Awesome. I'm really stoked to have everyone on here. Very exciting. So, really quick, how's everyone's weekend going?
Unproductive. How is yours?
Slightly less productive is yours, I assume.
I managed to finish editing for being scared, and that was about it.
That's so awesome that you were able to do that with him. I mean, he's such a huge YouTuber, at least in our genre.
Oh yeah, he's just a really great guy. He helps a lot with new channels and stuff.
Yeah. I think that's really cool. What about you other guys? How are you guys doing?
I've done nothing but teleport bread for 3 days.
I guess
Teleport bread.
bread.
I hear that gets
you mean
pretty
you're
tiring.
eating it? Or how do you teleport it? Oh, driving it? I gotcha.
That's actually
Sure.
really funny. What kind of bread? What kind of bread we talking?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I expected. We got Caitlin
Bread.
Pulsifer in the chat. Just want to say hello to you. Got Luigi King. Probably my two biggest fans. Awesome. Really quick for you guys, what as you guys can tell whenever I have people come on, I love to talk conspiracies. What's everyone's favorite conspiracy?
Oh, I told mine last time, so.
We
My
talked about
favorite
quite a few.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
I don't know too many. I mean, do you mean like JFK, government?
I'm talking more like along the lines of Earth, reptilian society, Illuminati, aliens, things like
I guess
that.
aliens. Although I had a math teacher in college who.
How do you make it to being a teacher in college when you don't believe the Earth is round?
He explained it. It's not so much that he doesn't believe the Earth is round. He does. It's more the fact of challenging a common belief that the Earth is round, and
Huh.
back up any even a made-up claim. Just more the creativity and like backing up the claims. They have those fake scientific experiments and stuff. This was years ago, and flat Earth wasn't what it is today. I don't think. Like the way he explained it, he didn't necessarily believe it. It was more challenging the status quo than anything.
Right.
That's what he was about.
Okay.
So I think it's kind of changed. That's why when I started hearing people actually believing in the flat Earth, I'm like, that's just stupid. That's not how it was explained to me.
Right.
So
I figured, or first heard about it from someone who actually believed in it. It's kind of an interesting discussion.
I've only ever seen the jokes. I don't think I've actually ever met anyone that truly believed. And if so, haha.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that's like whenever you're at a family reunion and then you have that one uncle and it's like, oh, look out for this guy. And then, it's like that's kind of what it's like with whenever I interact with people with like flat earth theories, things like that. I just like I like the whole like the ice wall thing. I think that's really funny for some reason.
okay, I don't know the ice wall thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's-
that's new to me.
Yeah, it's just like that's the ice wall is like keeping the borders like
The
that's
White
the
Walkers?
borders of the flat earth. Like if you go outside of that, you'll fall off the
Oh,
earth
okay.
kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting like keeping those darn Yetis out.
Yeah, right.
Also the Yetis.
Oh yeah.
It must be working because I have not seen a Yeti here so far.
I mean,
Well, there we go.
that's just proof that walls work, guys. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's all the proof I need.
Yeah. Don't see a Yeti? Think the ice wall.
And if we were to see one, I feel like it'd be in your state, Monster.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in Alaska. Alaska most likely, but
Well, I
I
feel
mean,
like
pretty darn close.
Sasquatch would be in Montana.
I
Yeah.
just think of like deportation for like Yetis. I just think of ice, and just like people come out, like these guys come out in like a van out in the middle of the woods and throw a Yeti in the back and deport them back over the ice wall. Oh my gosh.
Yes, but they're like actually snowmen that like take them back.
Right. They're like people with like those, like Arctic jackets and stuff like that. That's hilarious.
Snowmen are deporting
Flamethrowers.
the Yetis because this is snowman territory.
Right.
They don't want
The
those
Yetis are taking all
darn
the
Yetis
snowman
around
jobs.
here. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Silly Yetis.
Well, it's funny because on Facebook, I joined like a bunch of groups that I tried to put my stuff on to like get my content out there, and so I joined a bunch of like horror groups, ghost groups, and like I joined like a conspiracy group, and I still get messages, and I don't know how to like get out of the group. Like I keep silencing them for like 2 months, and then they keep coming back. But anyways, like I keep seeing stuff, and it just cracks me up every time I see it. It's like like reptilian society, and like the Queen of England is a reptile because that's how she can stay alive for so long, things like that. So I don't know.
I
just think it's hilarious.
it is. Like I draw the line at lizard people, my conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I don't get the lizard people one either.
Yeah. Now. Oh, go ahead.
Maybe aliens that have adapted, some kind of human suit camouflage thing. Sure, maybe if we're gonna get really deep into it, but not lizard people. That's a bit much.
Right. Well, because then I think of
I
like.
mean,
Oh, go ahead.
we haven't really explored that deep in the Earth's crust. There's a lot of places they could be hiding. Just saying.
Lizard people?
Sure.
Well,
Sure.
that's the thing though. That's the thing though. It's like they're supposed to be among us. Like that's why it's so crazy because it's like people. It's like lizards in human suits.
Yeah, but you know what? The Ninja Turtles keep us safe from that, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right.
The Ninja Turtles.
That's
will
why
always
the
have
turtles
our back.
live in the sewers, just to
Right.
fight the lizard people. I think.
Look, they are heroes in a half shell, and I don't know if you know this or not, but they have turtle power.
They do.
Yeah. They have the shell shock.
Splinter train them. Splinter train them well.
Look, we're also forgetting the unsung heroes of the street sharks. Okay.
The street sharks.
Yes.
I just thought that was like I didn't I just thought that was like a what do you call it, like a Mandela effect thing. Like I thought that was something in my childhood, but then I was like I don't have any proof of it though.
Street sharks?
No, like yeah, like I always like I saw like a cartoon once, like I didn't know what it was called, so I always just thought it was like a random thing I thought up in my mind.
Wait, was it a cartoon?
It was.
I feel
Oh.
like I vaguely recall a cartoon with sharks that ran around in the streets.
Yeah.
I
It's,
can't remember any plot, but
oh, I can tell you the plot. I remember it very clearly. 'Cause
He has the manga to the street sharks,
He has all the.
all the street shark lore, all that stuff.
a staple in every household. What's wrong with you guys? I'm the normal one here.
of course Miskino has the box collection.
It was about 4 radical teenage dudes, and
They
they're
were sharks?
no. They were regular like college teenagers or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And one of their dads was like a geneticist, yeah, and the shadow mob government was all like, "We're going to take your experiment, and I'm the bad guy, and now I'm gonna turn your sons into sharks." And they're all like, "Oh, hey, now we're sharks," and swim through the concrete that makes up the sidewalk.
What?
Flawless plot.
It was dumb and stupid, and I love it.
Wait, they swam through the street?
I very much remember where, yeah, like he like dove in manhole cover, swam through the street, and like essentially just like popped up next to a bad guy.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And there was times I think there was like they also had to fight a discount Rocksteady and Bebop. So I don't remember their names. I don't even remember what they were cloned from. I just remember it was like, yeah, I don't. Oh, this is really shaping up to be like Ninja Turtles, but with fish people.
Ninja Turtles,
Turtles
but
with
with extra steps. really funny.
It was all like, well, we can't have them trained to be ninjas. Let's just make them like pound man-eaters and have them swim to the sidewalk, and kids will love it.
I'm surprised they didn't make them karate or something like that, or
Right.
kung fu shark.
No, they just got really strong because sharks, and that was it. that was it. They were just like, let's just make these 4 dudes super strong and sharks.
Because of sharks. That's yeah.
Of course, because sharks.
Were they?
I believe it.
Were they like different types of sharks? Was one like a hammerhead? Like
Yeah, I believe so. One was like a tiger shark. One was like a great white.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing those in stores.
That's what
I didn't know that they were actual cartoons.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is like I saw like the action figure, but I never saw like a show. Like I think I saw like a poster or something in passing, but it was like I always saw like action figures, and I'm like, does that go to anything? That is really
There you
bizarre.
go.
It sure does.
You know, it'd be really funny if like someone got like shark attacked by like a shark that was just swam through land, and like having to fill out that police report. Yeah, the shark got me on land. You know, we're 40 miles on land, but can swim through concrete.
This is Ohio.
In Ohio. Classic Ohio problems.
Right?
You guys probably don't remember that really ancient Saturday Night Live skit with the land shark. I mean, this was back in the... Oh, I probably saw when I was a kid in the 80s. It was pretty old.
I have not.
I don't remember who was in it. And I don't remember the whole setup. I just remember somebody knocking on the door. I didn't ask for a candygram. And then the knocks on the door. Who is it? And I don't remember. And it ends up with this person going, "You're not that pesky land shark." No. And then they open the door, and of course they get eaten by a shark because it's a land shark. And he's tricking people into opening their door so he can eat them. The whole premise.
Okay, that sounds a little bit familiar.
A bit, yeah.
It's way funnier when you see it than me explaining it, but just talking about street sharks reminded me of it.
That's what happens whenever I explain anything. It's way better than...
I found a picture of the bad guy, by the way, from Street Sharks, and I want you to think of 80s Saturday morning cartoon bad guy, and here he is.
Oh, I was about to say he's got to have an eye patch. Like I straight up was gonna say that.
Oh.
It's not just an eye patch; it's a metal eye patch.
Oh,
Because
it's
evil.
on.
It's a hexagon eye
Hot
patch.
bolt skull. Jeez, that's hardcore.
Jeez, that's-
Everyone knows that bald people are evil.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
Hey, what are you saying?
I'm not saying you're a mad scientist to turn 4 dudes into street sharks, but I'm also not saying that you're not a mad scientist to turn 4 people into street sharks.
That's really funny. Ah, jeez. What a
Street
time to
sharks.
be alive.
That's all I'm saying.
The 90s was just a crazy time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
What about, did you guys hear about that theory, like Nickelodeon sends like subliminal sexual messages to kids and things like that?
I have. I've heard that about
I'm
like
pretty
Disney
sure that's
Channel
true.
and...
Right.
I've heard the theory, but I haven't seen like proof that children are being brainwashed to do the do.
to drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's conditioning our children to drink soda pop.
Speaking of things that I didn't think were real, but like I have a vague memory of it, was like, do you guys remember like a ketchup being like purple? Does that ring anyone's
Yes.
bells?
That was real.
That
Nope.
whose idea? That was such a terrible idea. It's like, hand me the purple ketchup.
Why would it be purple?
I feel like I remember
Why would
it.
be purple?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
remember that.
I'm honestly trying to figure out like what's the gimmick there? Like,
I don't know.
you know
And
how
then they
tomatoes?
They also
Well, they're not.
Didn't they also mix peanut butter and jelly together and sold it as a thing?
Are you
I'm
serious?
pretty sure they still do, don't they?
I don't
They
know.
still have that, where that has peanut butter and jelly in the same jar and like little stripes.
God, do they still have that? I feel like that was a
pretty sure they do.
90s thing.
Oh no, I'm almost positive I've seen it.
Man, that's crazy. I'm trying to think. What do you guys think about like 5G? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's going to destroy the Earth's magnetic field for sure.
Obviously, they're beaming subliminal messages to our mind, so that way we'll cut off the GPS tracking devices on our cars, and we can't put gas in our tank anymore. Thus, making sure that we all have to return to walking everywhere, saving the environment. And I ain't about that, Chief. All right, I'm trying to get 4 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
There we go. Complete silence. That's all I was looking for.
Oh, I was actually agreeing with you. Like, gallon. Sounds about right. Leak oil everywhere. Good old straight 8 or something like that. Yeah.
Literally leaving oil streak behind me.
You're like a human snail.
I was thinking more like Inspector Gadget or something with the oil slicks, but so the cops can't chase me.
No one can follow me.
I always wanted to Inspector Gadget car.
I liked his helicopter hat thing. You just
Oh,
take
heck
off.
yeah.
That wasn't strapped onto
totally
his head
go.
whatsoever. And
He held on to it.
magically
Yeah,
because the handle's on the side.
Yeah.
everyone knows that the hat was part of his head.
Yeah, actually, I think it was. He was all like robotic. Take it off.
You don't question things back in the day, but now looking at it, something's up with that hat.
Yeah.
It's just real something real. Dr. Seuss's up with that hat.
It just takes off with no one else on it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Monsters. What are because I had the other two on this past week, and we talked conspiracies. What are some conspiracies that you know of?
I don't. Like I said before, I don't know. I don't keep up too much on conspiracy theories. That was more my dad's thing back in the day.
What did he believe in?
Oh goodness, it was a whole bunch of government conspiracies. Cell phones were tracking you.
Well, I mean,
they are now, but back in the late '90s, they probably weren't. Oh yeah, no, they're
they just
listening
gave
in
you
on every
cancer.
call, NSA and all that stuff, which they probably are. Like half of his conspiracy theories probably were true now, but oh boy, yeah, it's hard to remember, man. I'm sorry. Yeah,
no, that's all
sorry,
good.
I'm not much into the conspiracy theories anymore. I try to they usually ramp up my anxiety too much because at first, like sometimes I'll initially believe them because they sound kind of true, and then I'll take some time and research and be like, oh my gosh, this stuff's a bunch of bunk.
Right.
So
I saw
at least
one.
most of them. I mean, there are probably a few that are true, like my dad. With the whole, oh, they're listening in on all your calls and they're going to be tracking you, and he was actually right. They probably are, but
Right.
yeah. So I don't know.
Maybe he
I
could
tend to
just-
try to stay away from them.
Right.
At one of my jobs, one way I had to waste like the last 40 minutes to an hour of a shift was to just go to my boss's office and ask him what he thought about the JFK conspiracy. And he would literally like lecture me for an hour about all the different angles. And I would just sit there and just go like, and if I felt like he was losing steam, I would just be like, okay, but what about? And then
Yeah.
something random from it, and he would just immediately pick back up again, and boom, there we go.
That's
I
hilarious.
do kind of think there had to be a second shooter, just with the magic bullet.
Well,
I don't
Magic-
know.
magic
It's not
one?
something I lose sleep over at night.
right.
Yeah, the one that went like, what was it? I can't. It went at a weird angle, out his wrist or something, in through his neck and out his wrist. Or something crazy. I can't remember.
Well, what
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
what I do know though about that, which is super weird, is the fact that when they were doing the autopsy, they like straight up lost his brain. Like it's gone.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
Like they put it in a jar, and then like, okay, the jar is gonna be on the desk, and then they look at the desk, and and there's no jar. Like it's gone.
See, I think that's where the real conspiracy is. They put it in a robot or they froze it for later use.
Well,
Because it's
obviously,
robot, right?
obviously they're working on Clone High.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something that we were talking about earlier this week with we were like supposed to be talking about ghosts, but we got to like the ethical concerns when it comes to cloning things. That's a very interesting concept. What all do you need to clone someone? And do you think, what are your guys' thoughts on, do you think human cloning's going on right now?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure. I think I said my piece last week.
I don't think it's sanctioned. It's definitely
Well, yeah.
in the quieter countries and stuff, and people aren't really talking about it.
Well,
but
what
I
was
can see
that?
why it wouldn't be.
Last year, was it last year, and was it China? They found out they were genetically modifying humans.
That's
human
freaky.
Fetuses.
Was it?
They're really doing it.
It's like cyberpunk.
I know. Yeah, I know. Japan. One of my favorite memes is Japan is authoring human and animal hybrid testing, and it just plays. It's just that headline, but it's playing the cyberpunk theme in the background, and I love it.
So you're saying cat girls might be a thing?
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Anything's
definitely.
possible in Japan.
I heard you could go to Japan
China.
and you could order live squid out of a vending machine.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know about
I
live
don't know
squid.
about out of vending machine, but
That's what I
definitely
heard.
order live squid at a restaurant.
I know there's vending machines where you can build your own pizza, 24 hours.
Oh, I do have a good pizza conspiracy. Did you guys hear about the Chuck E. Cheese Pizzagate?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's a conspiracy I have an idea about. Yeah,
You don't know about Pizzagate?
I kind of do. I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's all about the different sizes of pizza, and they just
Isn't it
here's a
like
moss.
a pedophile ring or something.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about pizza. I don't
Supposedly.
know about that, but
Oh, I thought there's something
I
about
wish so.
Pizzagate being a pedophile ring.
It is.
Maybe I don't.
Oh, it
know this
is?
one. Oh, okay.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'm thinking about a different Pizzagate.
I think you're thinking of a different Pizzagate. This one's about pedophiles.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought, because the one I heard was they took all the different the leftover pizza slices that people didn't eat and they put it into a new pizza
Oh,
thing.
that one. Yeah, I heard about
I
that
was
one
getting
too.
way deeper.
Okay, and yeah, no, the pizza I heard of was literally it was like an underground child sex traffic ring
Yeah.
that led to
Yeah.
tunnels and dungeons with satanic rituals where they were, essentially taking kids in the night.
Yeah, because a few years ago, some dude even went to a Pizza Hut and shot a couple people because of it. Thought that Pizzagate was real and it was being conducted out of that Pizza Hut or something like that.
Huh.
But I know which one you're talking about. That they would take the leftover pizzas, glue them back together, and it was something to do with their pizza cutters being cheap. Something in actuality.
Huh.
So, but I know about both.
Yeah, I only knew about the really creepy one.
Oh, yeah, that's...
By the
Really
way, guys, I'm
creepy
having
one.
pizza for dinner, so
I mean, two of us are on the satanic child sex ring, and
Yeah,
you guys just he reused Pizza the Monster.
Here, I'm all excited about it. I'm yeah, you guys hear about Pizzagate? Oh, it's crazy. And you guys are disgusted. You're oh, it's gross.
you
Like-
got a lot of enthusiasm there, bud.
I'm just it's just different pizza, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that kind of made my day a little bit, in a weird.
Yeah, because I was actually gonna bring it up because that's one conspiracy theory I do know about, but I was nah, I'm not gonna take it that dark. Bring it up,
Oh,
so-
you clearly have not
Talk-
you've
bring
not
it
talked to
there.
Meskino long enough.
True.
It gets dark quick.
That is true.
Nah,
Like last week when I told him about how Bigfoot was real, and he wants to eat my asshole.
I need to get a
With or
shirt that
without
says
ranch.
So what you're saying is I don't have to censor myself as much.
that. Pretty much.
I don't know. He didn't say he didn't tell me to stop, so I was just going to roll with it.
He didn't tell you to stop. So that's
Yeah.
Are you talking about Bigfoot or are you talking about?
Yes.
That's what I thought he was talking
Yes.
about.
Yes, the law requires that I say no.
Legally, I am obligated to answer. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think what else is out there. I definitely, I mean, it's not really a conspiracy now, but I mean, I know that me and Deadleaf thoroughly believe in aliens.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Monsters? I'm kind of, just because we haven't live streamed with you, so what are your thoughts on that?
I'm a toss-up on that. I think most alien sightings can be explained, but I do think there's some unexplained stuff, and there's definitely compelling evidence towards it.
What do you think
I'm
about
not
how
entirely convinced.
the government pretty much came out this year and said aliens are real?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they released UFO footage, which just means unidentified flying objects. So it could be something, but we can't identify it.
But so
That's way less.
I don't know.
So if it's not the government in those flying objects, then what? Who is it? Is it other governments?
Possibly. It could be other things we don't really know or haven't proved scientifically.
Huh.
I mean, I'm open to extra dimensions, to extraterrestrial aliens from this dimension. I'm not saying it's one or the other just yet.
Okay.
Another interesting way to think about it is you don't really know what other countries' governments do.
Right.
It could very well be.
Did you guys hear about that one where in Russia in like the 50s, back when the arms race was starting to kick off or whatever, they took like scientists out into like the middle of nowhere and just made random cities, like legit cities with like huge skyscrapers and stuff, and like made these cities, and they just weren't allowed to leave ever, and they had to work on at like the nuclear power plant or whatever, or the nuclear bomb or whatever. But it's like, imagine growing up there thinking like that's normal, like you're a kid and you're just not allowed to leave. It's kind of like what's that one M. Night Shyamalan where you can't ever The Village.
The Village.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of what if, like, I'm willing to bet you they probably do that stuff still today, is that they have just random cities out there doing who knows what.
Oh, I'd believe it.
Yeah, research facilities and stuff where everyone lives.
I
Right.
mean, if you ever look at Russia on Google Maps, it's just, there's so many random, huge, well, not really huge, but random cities in just the middle of nowhere. I have a lot of free time sometimes, so.
Really? I didn't know about the I didn't ever think about looking at it in Google Maps. I mean, I know they have tons of land out there, but I mean, I don't know what they really do.
I'm almost wondering if that's not just a communist thing, because I know North Korea too, they have a couple cities that are built, at least one, and it's completely empty. They just have it built to, and it's
That's
like
a
a
good
nice
point.
city on the outside, but if you go in any of the buildings, they're all empty and not finished, and it's just supposed to show off their wealth and that
Really?
they're doing well. Yeah, I know there's at least one in Korea, North Korea. It's like that. It's completely empty, but if you look at it from the outside, or if you don't go in and you look at it from a distance, it looks like this nice, pristine city with modern buildings and stuff, but you go in and there's nobody in there. It's just completely empty, not even finished on the inside. It's all just a farce. So I'm wondering if that wasn't something that they did also too, to pretend that they were better off than they were back during the Cold War and stuff.
Well, I think, you know what I think about? Like, I mentioned it to Deadleaf and to Masachino, but like, if I was like a really good writer, like that's perfect, like creepypasta material. Like, what if they had a town, like it was a legit town, and something happened, like a monster got loose, or like a disease got out, and they all had to abandon it, and no one knows why it's empty, and then people like try to go inhabit it again, and whatever was there like came back.
I'm almost positive I've read stories like that. Like 95% positive I've read a story very similar to that. if
Well, it
not
sounds
one or
like a
two.
good story. What's the name of it? Do you know?
I can't remember it. I was browsing a while ago. I think this was when I first started narrating, so like 2 years ago, and I read it. But at the time, it had like over 4,000 likes, and I was like, oh, I'm a small channel. They won't let me use it, so I moved on and found something else that I don't remember. I wish I had.
Huh.
So, but I don't remember the name of it.
Huh.
Sounds really interesting. I'd like to read that story.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah, I don't go on Reddit anymore. I tried posting my stuff on there, and it's just like Reddit's its own thing. I'm kind of.
It is.
I try to steer away from it now. It's much different than our YouTube community. I feel like.
I agree.
I feel like our YouTube community is like, how you see like those death metal bands or like people that are like death metal fans and they look like super hardcore, and then like you get to know them and they're like the softest people. I feel like that's how our community is in a way.
I think so. I've met some really amazing, nice people in this community.
Yeah,
like you guys.
I've experienced nothing but nice people. Like
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a jerk.
Well, I mean,
I was gonna say you guys have met Mosquito, right?
I was trying to be polite, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything since he was here, but
I'm not. I hate me.
Well, hey, we got something in common.
There we go. Finally, we're seeing eye to eye now.
Yeah. Let's see. I gotta look at my conspiracy.
Conspiracy theories. The rest is just insult Mosquito on the rest of the
Yeah,
card.
I didn't actually think you'd join us. That was awesome. Yeah.
I had a friend that was gonna come over for some drinks, but I honestly thought he'd stay longer, but he didn't. So, and I was like, "All right, bye." And then you called. I was like, "All right, time to go upstairs."
Oh, well, nonetheless, I'm glad that you're here.
I'm glad that I'm here to insult me more.
Sorry that it's kind of noisy. If you got my boyfriend's running the 3D printer and I have a squeaky chair, so.
Oh gosh, I was worried that you guys are hearing my kids in the background.
I also have a new chair, and mine has a vibrating pillow, so I was afraid you guys might hear that in the background.
Don't worry, we'd all assume the same thing.
Yeah, it's the pillow that's vibrating.
Yeah, why are you guys laughing? It's just a pillow.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm trying to think. What's everyone's favorite creepypasta?
Ooh.
I actually like the Russian. Going back to Russia, the Russian sleep experiment.
That is a good one.
While we're in
Crap
Russia,
out of
yeah.
me. Jeez, that one was.
Well, you know what? You know what though? With that is like that is like a thing. I don't know if it was Russia, but there was. I think it was China maybe, where they did a bunch of human experiments on people and like basically tortured them. And it's
Possibly.
that's about as far as it goes. But essentially, like the United States, they went over there and they're like, yeah, you can't do this anymore, but we won't charge you with like crimes against humanity if you give us all the information. So it's like.
I think that was Nazi Germany.
So there was Germany, but there was also Japan, and they did a lot of experiments on the Chinese.
Yeah.
I forgot the group. It's like Group 7 something other.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a lot of like real messed up stuff, like
Right.
Essentially like freezing people's arms off and seeing at what point they would just shatter off.
Right.
Like basically live dissection, stuff like that. It was a lot of messed up stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. I mean oh man, that was just one of many things. Going back, like I think a lot of people think, when you think of human experiments, they kind of go to Nazi Germany, but they forget there's a lot of other groups that were doing human test subject experiments.
Yeah, even in America they did.
Oh yeah.
In some instances, so yeah.
Well, they did it like with like drugs. I think it's called MK Ultra. I think it's what it's called.
Yes.
And they're
Yeah, that and syphilis or something like that. I can't remember.
The
STD.
the Unabomber was also tested with the LSD for
Oh, really?
MK Ultra. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. It's like
So-
That really scares me.
what's
One
that?
of my random anxieties. That really scares me because one of my random anxieties is that somebody will slip LSD into like some of my food someday, and I'll just go crazy.
Oh, really?
It's expensive. They won't do that.
Yeah,
It's like in this economy.
I
I think you're good,
probably
man.
won't. Yeah, I probably am.
But when I remember when I first heard about like in health, I think it was in health class. They make drugs sound way more fun.
Yeah.
But they talk about like, oh, they can like put it on all these things like acid, and they'll put it on You can put on toilet paper in a public restroom and all these things. And I was always really worried about that when I was younger.
Would that
And
work
I
I
though?
never had that class.
I don't know.
Would that work if someone put LSD on toilet paper?
Probably wouldn't be the most effective thing.
Would it like start with like your butt, or like how does that work?
Well, I mean, you'd probably feel that it's
Like
I
your
don't know,
like
yeah.
your butt's tripping balls,
That-
nothing else.
I know it can be absorbed through the skin, but you have to have pretty prolonged contact for that to happen. I don't think just wiping it on would
I don't
be
think so
enough.
either.
That's really funny.
Man, I'm feeling pretty good after that dump.
Yeah, man. Whoa. Taco Bell wasn't that bad, actually.
Yeah, I think at best or worst case scenario, you'd get like a microdose where you'd feel maybe a little relaxed or something, but you wouldn't have severe hallucinations or anything.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. I did
Oh, but
see.
also,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, even with MK Ultra, I guess from what I've read, the LSD back then was way stronger than it is now.
Right.
And that you can find on the street, so that stuff was probably making them trip pretty big balls.
What do you guys think about Paul McCartney?
He died
Yeah.
a while ago, and they just have a body double. Yeah, totally.
I think I legit think that's just straight up just what happened. And everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, all right, he's left-handed now. Okay. All right."
Wasn't he always left-handed though?
I don't think he was. I think he was a righty and then he went lefty. Like overnight.
You know, one explanation for that though could also be playing guitar and stuff. You know, it is a bit different lefty, so he's probably taught right-handed, and then maybe went to his natural hand later in life.
Yeah, who knows?
It's very
'Cause
possible.
It was just easier.
You know what I like?
like-
I like conspiracies and then like there being like a legitimate reason behind it. Like I think that's really cool. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But
Aliens.
Yeah, aliens essentially. But like I think a lot of it, like I think Deadleaf talked about it a little bit with like how the Mayans and like the Egyptians were like super advanced.
Oh, yep.
And then the closer, like the further ahead we get in society, like the more we kind of understand what they were doing. But like for the longest time, we were just like, yeah, how on earth did they do any of this stuff?
I was watching a show last year, and it took these small little, I think they were Mayan or Aztec sculptures that looked kind of like planes, and they built a beefed up model of it, and sure enough, it actually flew. It was aerodynamic.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like, how did they know that the aerodynamics and proportions of those things?
I don't know. I think.
They just kind of guessed on.
Well, have you seen like the huge, like they do like they're not like crop circles. They're like these designs they did in the dirt.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can only see them from like an airplane, but they have all these different ones, and then they have one that straight up looks like an astronaut, like straight up it's like a man with like a fishbowl on his head, like a straight up just astronaut.
Yep. I've
I
seen
think,
that
I think that they were smarter than we give them credit for, and they had like, you know, certain people that just had nothing, but that was their job, was to just come up with stuff, and you know, there you go.
I think they.
You either
They knew
come
a lot
off as a witch doctor or as an incredibly smart person. It was a really 50-50 toss-up back then.
Right.
I think they had the, how do I put it? Not the ingenuity, but the knowledge, but not the wisdom on how to implement things. Because I remember also watching the show about this Greek guy who developed the first steam engine, but he just made it as a party trick because they didn't know how to apply it to anything. But he had a fully functional steam engine.
That's crazy. That is
And
so
I mean, they
crazy.
even had robots back in ancient Greece that would pour you a glass of wine.
What?
That's the kind of
Yeah,
technology
it was a
support.
statue. It was a metal statue, and you put your goblet in there, and depending on the weight of the goblet, it would pour wine into the cup until it was full, and then it'd turn off.
Are you serious?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
They even had.
We don't
they
even have
had,
that now. Well, we probably do. We probably do, but I mean, I don't.
They even had vending machines. You could go into a Greek temple and place in a quarter, and it would pour you out a pre-portioned size of holy water.
Are you serious? That is unreal. I look at
So they had all these ideas, but they didn't necessarily know how to apply them in a bigger scope, or have the necessary materials even to develop them into bigger scale. But they knew how to do most of the stuff that we do nowadays,
huh?
or at least a lot of it.
That is.
There's one temple that even had automatic doors.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you lit a fire and it created a steam, and then it would like a steam engine kind of thing, and it would wind up the ropes.
Huh?
It would open the doors to the temple.
Huh. That is crazy. You know, this is what I want to know. Is I feel like, because I was reading a thing on how we were in the Bronze Age, like the time it took, like the time that we were in the Bronze Age was like thousands and thousands of years, and like we've like just like made these huge quantum jumps. Like, how do we go from just sticks and stones to like just like finding rocks that that can emit heat and, you know, radiation? Like, I feel like there's some intervention of some kind at some point. I think something, or you know, someone stumbled across something that's literally out of this world that was like, hey, this is how you do stuff, just so you know.
So what you're saying is, lizard people are real.
Yeah,
And they're in
aliens.
cahoots. And they're in cahoots with Bigfoot.
Yeah, those are
And
people
the
getting
Greys.
deported.
There we go. Now, see, it's all coming together now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on the other side of the ice wall.
God, we just need to tear down that wall. And
Oh no, don't worry. We're working on it with the global warming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness. Tying it all together.
Oh, jeez.
See, it's not the flooding that we're worried about. It's really all this stuff on the other side of the ice wall.
I knew it. I knew that's why those environmentalists, they don't want us to have access to the intelligent beings on the other side. They're just trying to keep us in the dark ages.
All I'm saying is, one day, when the ice wall breaks, there's going to be nothing but Yetis with bulletproof vests, laser guns, riding dinosaurs, coming to your homes and eating your pie.
Sharks swimming on concrete.
Sharks on the street sharks, if you will.
Ah, jeez.
And the lizard people will rise up.
Yeah. Reclaim what's
Yep.
theirs.
And they'll all have terrible fashion sense.
Oh, jeez.
Terrible
You know what
idea.
does freak me out? Which, did you hear about the different AIs that, I think it was Facebook or some group, or I think it was Google even, that they set up two AIs to talk to each other, and then like they would monitor them, and then it got to the point where like they came up with their own language, and then they had to shut it down because it was just too freaky.
Yes.
They're plotting to destroy humanity.
And then I was
Wasn't there also one where it became racist or something? I can't remember.
Say what?
I think there was also, I can't remember, something about an AI, and they let it self-learn, and it became, I can't, maybe I'm making this up, it became racist or something.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like it's basically scoured the internet, and it was just like, according to the internet, I'm racist.
Yeah. No, I saw one where it was like watching. It was the Chinese, and they were like they let the AI like go through information and like make up its mind on things, and like the AI came back and was like, "Yeah, communism is really bad," and then they're like, "Yeah, we're pulling the plug."
Hey, and I gotta head out. Food's here, and I'm starving to death. But I just wanted to say bye.
Okay, thanks, Dudley, for coming on. Appreciate it.
You're
Remember, ice wall.
welcome. I'll dream about the ice wall tonight and the sharks.
There we go.
Bye,
The
guys.
AIs
I
will
see.
lead us over the ice wall.
You know what was really weird?
It's just all Terminators and Yetis.
It was really weird because when I had Deadly Fawn a couple days ago, I told her about my dream about how I thought I got abducted by aliens, and she told me she had that same dream.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, like that freaked me out for a second. I was like, it's one thing to like just be like, oh yeah, it's whatever, you know, it's just like a crazy dream I had. But then it was like, oh no, I had that same dream too. It's like, what? I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
ever
that'd be a
experienced
little
anything like
awkward.
that.
Me and my wife had bad dreams on the same night.
Really?
They were different, but like we essentially kind of woke up at the same time.
That's weird.
So, I mean, they were kind of similar. I had a dream that she fell in the shower and hurt her head, and then she had a dream that she got hurt in some other ways. I think it was like a kind of a series. So that was I don't know, that was probably the only case of like a weird sort of coincidence in dreaming that I've ever had.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had anything with dreams. I don't know. I have pretty vanilla experiences in life. Like, I've never had anything paranormal. Never had some kind of weird dream psychic link or anything like that.
See, I said that too, and then I just got made fun of last time I was on here. So
No, what do you guys think about like deja vu? What are your thoughts on that?
I've had it a few times.
Okay, that I've had experienced.
Yeah, whenever I have it actually quite a bit. Like, whenever I get it, it like literally makes me stop. Like, I have to stop what I'm doing because I'm like, whoa, that freaked me out. Like, or it's even weirder, like when you have it and then it's like, I literally say what's about to happen and then it happens. Like that to me is weird. Has that ever happened to you guys?
I've never said it. I've only realized it afterwards.
Oh.
Same.
Yeah, like I
Well,
remember.
I guess, yeah. Actually, I guess now that I think about it, hold on. There was one time I had a dream, and then I had deja vu in real life, but I had dreamed it before. Like, it felt exactly like something I had dreamed.
Huh. Well, I was reading this thing about deja vu, which I thought was really interesting, where it was like, deja vu happens because our minds are so active and they think of so many scenarios that it's just statistically possible that the scenarios just happen to line up in real life. And that was the explanation behind it. And I was like, I feel like that's like 50% of it. I don't know. I feel like there's so much more behind it. I feel like, I don't know, like I don't believe in fate, but then again, it's like, how do you explain deja vu? Like, you know?
I think it's a remembrance of something similar. Maybe
Yeah.
a similar smell that's taking you back to a time, or a similar conversation or something. And it feels like you've been there before, but not necessarily you have been.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. It's just interesting. Like, I that kind of goes back to like the Russian sleep experiment, if you think about it, because it's like, it's just kind of amazing what the mind can do, and we have so many senses. And I actually have a really kind of random theory. It's not really conspiracy, but most of our sensory organs are designed to interpret the world around us. Like, we have eyes that, interpret light, and we have ears that interpret sound. What if there's like another thing out there, like another sense? We just don't have an organ to interpret it. You know what I mean?
Well, there's the Earth's magnetic field, and I know a lot of animals can tap into it to, find direction and stuff. So that would be another sense, be able to sense the magnetic field that we aren't able to use. That there are creatures in this world that can use it, and sometimes I wonder how that affects us. The magnetism of the Earth that we're not really able to tap into, but maybe sometimes we can feel it. That kind of causes some kind of disorientation every once in a while or something.
Well, that's interesting you bring that up, because I also heard this, and this isn't like a joke or anything, but the stereotype where like men have better sense of direction. I was reading that since men have such high iron in their blood, that they are able to better navigate because of that.
I was just gonna say that too. It might be because of the higher iron,
which I think is really interesting.
So we'd be able to feel the magnetic pull in certain directions, so find which way is north easier.
So what you're saying is more blood for the blood god.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes. Coat yourself in blood, and it works as a natural compass. Just feel which way it's pulling you.
There you go.
I've actually read that some people can use their nose and feel which way north is, because there's up in the nose, the blood is right on the surface and stuff like that.
Huh.
You actually might feel a little tingle in the nose when pointing north.
I remember.
I don't know how true that is.
Well, I remember when I was little, and I heard something about like the polarity of the Earth switching every couple thousands of years, and like that freaked me out at first because I thought what that meant was the North was gonna flip and be on the South, like it was just gonna literally flip the Earth.
Yeah.
Like it just like But the older I got, the more I realized like they were just talking about the polarity of it. So so the Earth doesn't change; it's just the way that it goes. But anyways, I just thought that was really like being really freaked out about that growing up. And I was like, oh man, like is the Earth gonna flip today? Like what's gonna happen?
Today is the day.
Today is the day, old friend.
I've also heard. I used to hear that if the ice caps melt, the Earth will actually tilt, and the equator will go sideways. But I don't know how true that is. I don't think that would happen.
So, Monsters, I know that you have traveled the Earth, definitely more than me. What is your experience with like the different cultures, with like the paranormal?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, the only other place I've been to is Canada and Korea, and I visited Japan for a few days. But I know, at least in Korea, Buddhists, so they have interactions with spirits and stuff like that. Because I remember we rented an apartment. When we got in there, there was Buddhist symbols all over on pieces of paper by the window and by the door, and it was supposed to ward off evil spirits and stuff like that. So that was interesting to find. I mean, it's not something I delve into too deeply, I guess. I do know that, in Korea, they are more aware or more cautious of spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard some pretty spooky stories, especially over in the Asian cultures, that, they don't even talk about, like they try not to talk about it because they feel like it draws the attention towards them. Like I've heard some really freaky stuff over there. I feel like for some reason the United States isn't as, I guess, popping in the sense, just because in the sense of relativity that it's a fairly new country. Like we've only been around for a couple hundred years, where other countries have been around for thousands of years. So they don't we don't have as nearly as many battles here, that many spirits roaming around. But I just hear that whenever people leave the United States, like they'll always experience these crazy paranormal events happen. And so I wasn't sure if if anything happened like that with you or anything like that.
No. Like I said, I've never experienced anything paranormal. My wife lived in a haunted house, and my sisters lived in a haunted house, but I stayed the night in my sister's house when it was haunted, and nothing happened to me. I stayed the night at a buddy's house. He's like, oh, if you hear this knocking, it's just a ghost. And I never heard any knocking. Like, I don't know if they just avoid me or what. But, like, I've been in a couple situations where people are like, okay, this is gonna, this might happen, and nothing ever does. So, I mean, I don't discredit what they went through. I'm sure they experienced something, more than likely some kind of spiritual entity. I do believe they're out there, but I've just never had it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I remember growing up, because I lived down in the South. We'd always go to like Florida or whatever, and every other hotel we stayed down there, it's like, oh, it's a haunted hotel, It's actually kind of an interesting story though. But like, I remember my dad and my brother, we went and tried to go ghost hunting in one of the hotels, and nothing happened. And I think we were there with like my dad's business friend or something, and we invited him to come with us, and he's like, no, that's stupid, he's kind of the guy that just he'd throw back beers or whatever. Like, I'm just gonna go back to my room and get drunk. Anyways, the next day comes around and we're eating breakfast, and he comes down and he's like looking terrible, like he got no sleep, and we're like, how was your night? And he's like, you're not gonna believe this. So he was in his room, and he woke up, and there was someone in his room and he's like, oh geez, I got some random person in my room. And he calls out and he's like, hey, get out of my room. And he heard running, but he didn't hear a door open. And he's like, oh geez. And he turns the light on, and there's nothing there. And then he looks on the ground where the guy was standing, and that was his hotel key was like right where it was, and it was like an actual key, like it wasn't just like a card. And it was like, that was like a really freaky experience, but it was kind of funny at the same time, because this guy's like, yeah, I don't believe in ghosts, and then that happened. He's like, yeah, I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah. I don't discredit it. I do think people have experienced it. It's just never happened to me.
Yeah.
So if it did, I'd be like, oh crap, it happened. Okay.
Yeah. It's it's kind of like it's kind of how I feel towards Bigfoot. I haven't experienced anything with Bigfoot, but I know people that have, and that's kind of like, I feel like it could go either way. But I mean, as of right now, I'm kind of leaning on the sides of it not being as much of a thing, just because I feel like cryptid zoology has a pretty firm grasp on what is and what isn't. At least on Earth, at least. Like on ground. I mean, in the sea, there's so much that there could be, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think there might be something in there. Some kind of North American ape.
Really?
Something like that. But yeah. And there's a lot of area still left.
Oh yeah.
That's barely explored.
Right. I've watched.
I know we think about overpopulation and stuff, but there's still a lot of area in this world that we haven't gotten to.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky because I drive through Idaho and Washington and all that, and I'll drive through and I'll see so much empty land. Like, it's just so empty for miles. And then you come across a town and then it's empty again. It's like, just imagine that with forests. It's like there's no way you can comb everything, and especially, I don't know how you would, I don't know if the North American ape or whatever, like the Yeti or Bigfoot, like if it's is it aware of us? Is it we just don't come across them, or I don't even know if we've like actually sent out parties to try to find them. I always just see like documentaries of like 3 people like, oh, this is crazy, but
yeah, I don't think there's been ever a real full out exploration of a government agency or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's interesting. And I've heard different stories about it too. Like I've heard like there being like families of Yetis and families of Bigfoot. Like people have said they've seen families. There's one story where like a Bigfoot carried him into a cave, and there was like a family of Bigfoots in there.
Oh, crazy! I don't think I heard that one.
Yeah, and there's like baby Bigfoots and all that jazz, and he somehow got out. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I miss Loch Ness Monster.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember growing up, and I didn't realize what a loch was. I just thought it was a lake, and I'm like, well, why don't they just comb the lake or the loch? And then I realized it's like, oh, it's connected to the ocean. Like, they can leave.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why it's so hard to disprove. How do you know on that day it wasn't out in the ocean?
Right.
It doesn't just come in every once in a while. It doesn't really live there.
Yeah,
so.
I was a big fan of the Loch Ness Monster. I still am, but yeah, I've heard some interesting things.
I think that I remember there's so many TV shows on in the 90s where they were exploring the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot, and I think that's what has drawn me to cryptids now, because I remember watching those shows and documentaries.
What? Oh, go ahead.
That was it. I just said same.
Okay. Now, what are your thoughts on, since we're kind of on cryptids, I feel like cryptids also cover like wendigos and skinwalkers and things like that. What are your thoughts on those?
I think technically they don't, because the wendigo, isn't that supposedly a spirit.
Yeah, it's like well, there's the thing. I was talking to Maschino about this about the Wendigo psychosis, but that's like a legit medical term where people have the hunger for human flesh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like that's like in a textbook somewhere.
It's crazy.
But like I think it's like a spirit. Like it's a spirit, but also I think it can turn into a physical entity as well. Like I should probably know more about this, but
I don't know. They get so lumped together, the terms in some of these things, between Wendigos, skinwalkers, and fleshgates, and crawlers, and sometimes it's hard. Like even when I'm labeling my stuff after reading the stories, I'm like, I don't know if this is a fleshgate or a crawler. So what's more popular here? Because like there's some there's pretty vague definitions, and I don't think they actually fall under the cryptid category, but nobody really knows where else to put them, so they tend to throw them in there.
Yeah. I feel like it's like the love baby between cryptids and paranormal. I think they both got together, had a little too much to drink, and out came these.
Or at least like a bridge, kind of like a crossover between the two genres.
It's a crossover episode.
Yeah. Yeah, because from my understanding, a skinwalker is obviously a Navajo, in the Navajo region, somebody who can assume the shape of, almost like a shapeshifter, but not quite, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so kind of change there.
Now, I've met people that have claimed that they've met real-life skinwalkers when they were in human form. So I don't know how I feel about that. But I think if you look at it that way, like if it's just like an evil person, entity, or whatever, I think that is more interesting.
Yeah, because, I mean, I know, like, that's another thing. We classify them in the horror community. We tend to put them in the cryptids, but really they're more like, kind of like, dark medicine men.
Right.
So, like, dark wizards almost, but not quite. I don't want to lump them, because there's a difference between wizards and medicine men and stuff like that, but...
Right.
Yeah, it's not quite a cryptid where it's an unknown animal or an animal of sorts or a humanoid. It's a human who has an ability, or I'm not entirely sure how. I mean, and the thing is too, like the Navajos are so quiet on what it actually is. They don't tend to discuss it. So I think the Western culture has kind of come up with their own theories, which probably aren't the most accurate descriptions of what's actually going on.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't think they technically fall into the cryptids, but we tend to clump them in there because they turn into animals. So close enough.
Right.
Same with the Wendigo. I don't think they're actually cryptids, but we tend to lump them in there because they're not quite spirit, they're not quite human, they're not quite animal. So we'll put them over here in an unknown category.
Yeah, I love thinking about that, especially looks like JRC3 is going camping. I love going camping and thinking about that, and I wish I could tell those stories around my family, but they get a little too spooked. But
Yeah.
Well, that makes it perfect then. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do around the campfires, get spooked.
Well,
Or
especially
sing songs.
this time of year. This is like my favorite time of year. Like the leaves are it's starting to get cold. Leaves are starting to change color a little bit. And then the next couple months are just a bunch of fun holidays for me. I love it. What's your guys' favorite Halloween movie?
Halloween.
Oh,
Halloween.
Or Halloween 3. Screw the haters. Halloween 3 is
You
a good
like
movie.
Halloween 3?
I do. It's purely nostalgia, I will admit, but I do like Halloween 3.
I think that one, for me, like, I just love the fun concept behind it. Like, that is, like, it's so wacky, it's so just, like, unlike the other ones, but it's, like it's got a very interesting idea behind it, and I love fun ideas like that.
Yeah, a mask that turns your brains into crickets? Awesome.
Yeah.
it was different, but it's not bad. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's just mostly nostalgia. I think to a degree, it probably would have done better if I don't know if I would say it would do better, but I don't know if it just got recognition because of the name, or if it would have done better if it was its own thing. But boy howdy,
it would have done better if it was its own thing. Honestly, the thing with Halloween, it was supposed to be an anthology, but then Michael Myers got too popular, and once they tried to switch it over to the original anthology with Halloween 3, it didn't fly too well, so they switched it back to Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And I've only seen Halloween 1, 2, and 3. I have not seen 4.
Oh, you haven't seen the fourth one?
Kind of stopped.
That one's more of like I feel like it's essentially, I mean, 4 and 5 are the same. I feel like it's
They basically are. You could literally put them together, and it just makes a long movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I feel like there comes a point, like, I understand the whole cash cow thing, and you want to milk it for everything it's worth, but, like, there just has to come a point where it's, like, either you find something else, or, like, a different idea, or something, or you're just going to dilute your product, you know?
Yeah, I tend not to watch those iconic movies past the second one. Like, I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2, but I don't think I've seen 3 or any of the other ones.
Right.
Same with oh man, what did I just draw blank? Yeah, exactly. No, the one with Jason. I can't. Wow, Friday the 13th.
Right, yeah.
1 and 2, and then after that, I didn't continue it. I'm like, eh. Although I did watch Scream 3, which was rare for me.
Really?
Yeah, well, it was on Tubi, I think, or something like that, and I watched 1, 2, and 3 in a sitting.
Huh. I remember I watched a thing on the Hellraiser, I don't know, series or whatever, because I never watched him growing up, and then I, like, it just didn't, I don't know, it's, like, that's just, like a series I just never really watched, like, those series of movies, and, you know, now watching the thing on it, it's just interesting how, yeah, like, it's just, like, one of those just diluted old horror movies. You know, the first 3 were great, and then anything after that, it was just like, alright. I
straight up do not remember any of the Scream movies past the first one.
Yeah.
Actually, if I remember, 3 wasn't half bad. 2 was okay. 3, I think, was a little bit better than 2.
One of my favorite, I don't know if it's a Halloween movie, I definitely classify it as one, but you might not, but The Thing, I feel like that, to me, is a great movie.
Oh, I haven't seen The Thing in forever, but yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
John Carpenter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. And Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
If I remember correct? Yeah, that could never be bad.
What was it, 2012 or 14 that they had a remake that came out?
I think it was 2011, but yeah, they definitely did another one.
Yeah, somewhere between those. That one, I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just the CGI. I don't know, you know what, because they had a lot of practical effects, but for some reason they went back and put in CGI effects over a lot of stuff too, and it just didn't look good.
Right.
And that was the biggest issue. Other than that, I mean, it was a pretty decent movie for The Thing.
Right.
Should watch that again.
You know what? I was watching a thing on the first one. They did like a review on it or whatever. And you know how at the I guess this would technically be a spoiler, but you know how at the end you don't know, like, it's Kurt Russell and it's that other guy, and you don't know who is who at the end. I heard a really interesting theory that I actually believe that tells you what happens in that situation.
What's that?
So what I heard was that at the end, you know how he gives, like, Kurt Russell's character gives him a bottle and the other guy drinks it? Well, anyways, so Kurt Russell, he was doing things and he made like a Molotov cocktail. And so, or he like put gas. He was like putting gas in these canisters, and like the thing that he handed him, he put gas in. And so it was like a bottle, but it was like like it was gasoline. And then he gave it to him to see what he would do, and he gave him the gasoline, and he drank it, and he didn't wince at all. And so that was the reasoning that dude was an alien, because he wouldn't know what liquor would taste like. He just knows to try to blend in as best as he can.
I didn't think about that.
Movie again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go with that.
I did recently watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, finally.
I need to get around to watching
Watch
that.
with It leaves a bit to be desired, but it's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It's worth watching it. It is.
Huh.
I don't know. I found it a little cliched.
I did watch it. Yeah, I was trying to remember if I watched it or not, but I did.
I remember reading the books in elementary school.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I loved those books in elementary school. I got one at the book fair.
Oh yeah.
That's what got me into scary stories. And then of course my sisters, it was the 80s. They were all watching, like I said, like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. And my parents would say I couldn't watch it, but I would anyways.
Right.
Well, I don't get how I could still sleep after that. And like except for my oldest, my kids cannot handle scary movies.
Really?
Yeah, my oldest, that's who I watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and she's like, meh, because she's watched like Saw and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah.
It'll definitely
She's really into
decondition you.
sport.
Like the stuff nowadays, if you watch it, it'll decondition you. And then, like I remember I watched the new Dawn of the Dead, and then I went back and watched the old one on VHS, and I was like laughing at it. I was like, this is hilarious, because like have you seen the old Dawn of the Dead?
Oh yeah, I like it better than the new one.
Oh yeah, well it's like the one where he gets on the boxes and the helicopter blade. I was laughing so hard at that.
That part, yeah, that was just bad.
I mean, this guy's got like a 3-foot forehead,
Yeah, that's just bad special effects.
I thought that was
plot-wise.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and story-wise.
Well, I feel like plot. I feel like that would be a great idea to go to like a mall. And I remember watching it, and I was like, they have gun stores in the mall. Like I didn't, but like it's obviously dated.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know, especially they used to.
yeah.
Back in the day, yeah.
Where
Watch what is it? There's so many 80s movies I've seen where they're smoking in the airport or in the
Right.
doctor's office or in the airplane. You're like, holy cow. How did we survive?
I have no idea.
Light cigarette. I remember when I could smoke in here next with the babies.
Yeah. But nowadays it's completely different. Like you can't even like breastfeed in public, and back then it's like you can get on a narrow tube in the air smoking.
Yeah. Although, it was, 2005 when I was in Japan, and I was in their Wendy's. If you want to talk about other countries, this isn't about spirits or anything, but yeah, they had smoking sections in the Wendy's, and you could order a beer there.
I'll take a beer
That's
with the
pretty cool.
frosty beer.
Heck yeah. But
That's
they even
awesome.
had beer vending machines out on the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And in the hotel I was in, you could just walk down with like $1.25 and grab a beer right next to the soda.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
that's pretty cool.
a minor loophole.
Maybe it was $5. I can't remember the price, but yeah.
All the
Yeah,
13-year-old
it's
kids
how do kids not come down here and just start eating the vending machines?
just getting hammered by the vending machine.
Yeah, well, I guess too, social pressures are a lot different. If you're underage, people would start saying stuff, and you could definitely go to jail and stuff. Like, they're not nearly as lenient as we are when we break the rules there.
Right. Where would you guys go if there was a zombie apocalypse?
I don't know if I'd go anywhere. I got MREs downstairs. I got
Oh, dang.
gallons of water, and I got guns and ammo, so I'm pretty set.
There you go. What about you,
There you
Meskino?
Just wait it out and then go take over the military base and set up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's probably about the same I do too.
Say no more.
We're both vets. We got plans.
Yeah.
11 of my 93 plans include willingly injecting myself and turning myself to a zombie to take you out first.
Now you're thinking ahead.
Very
Look at that
Exactly.
initiative.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Heck yeah.
If you can't beat him, eat him.
I can't risk you turning into a zombie then biting me. I'll take you out first.
Classic Maskino.
I feel like
I'm four parallel dimensions ahead of you, Buckaroo.
it's where all that bread he teleported is coming
Exactly.
from. I feel like if there were to be like a not necessarily a Halloween movie, but like a movie that was real, I feel like the Doom movie would be interesting.
Which one?
Dune?
The 2005, The Rock Doom.
Okay.
Oh, Doom. I thought you said Dune. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not talking about Dune right now. Jeez.
No, why is that?
Have you ever seen Dune,
No, I haven't.
Ewan? Oh my gosh, it's a trip. I haven't seen it in years. But it's this weird sci-fi fantasy mixture. And yeah.
Aren't they coming out with a new
I don't
one?
remember enough of it to talk about. But you said Doom, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a newer one that came out, and it's not good. It is not a good movie.
Doom?
Yeah, they had a Doom Annihilation movie. And
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was not good.
I'm Googling this. I don't believe you. Doom Annihilation? Who's in it?
I don't think anyone of note, really.
Oh, jeez. I'm Googling this.
Gotta check it out too.
I feel like I would know about this. Doom Annihilation. Jeez Louise. How did I let this slip?
2019. Not 2019.
So, essentially,
3.6 out of 10 out of IMDb.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how you know it's.
Made
That's how you know. Like there comes a point where it's like the worse it gets, the better it is. Like I love that.
I look for the movies with the lowest scores.
Oh my gosh, it's
Jeez.
got a 1.8 audience rating summary. Oh, is it like all girls?
no, there's some dudes in there.
Oh, okay.
But the main protagonist was very much, who needs a Doom guy when you have a Doom girl?
Oh boy.
Honey, you really look like you don't fill up that body armor, so
Oh boy.
they gave you 2 sizes too big.
Yeah, she looks like she's holding like a 1980s Super Soaker.
Probably. They literally reused like the same hallway like 11 billion times. They just changed the lights and the angle of the camera.
Oh boy.
Like, you can tell that more than likely what happened was Doom 2016 came out. They were like, oh crap, we own the rights to that movie. Quick, somebody shit out a script real fast. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh boy.
They were like, here's some plot points from Doom. Here's some Easter eggs to put in there. You gotta have a BFG. By the way, the BFG literally just kind of shoots after Adobe After Effects blue balls. So
I think we can all relate to that a little bit.
it was so bad. And Doom is my favorite game franchise. And I hate it.
Oh boy. That's crazy.
Yeah, so, you know how I told you I was gonna cross-stream this? Unfortunately, my game didn't download because I was actually gonna play Doom behind while we talked
Oh yeah.
on my channel, but it's taken forever to download. I didn't plan that out too well.
Which one, the 16 or Eternal?
I think the 16. I hope so. It's just the plain old Doom with the. Yeah, I hope it's my 16. Not Eternal.
Oh, okay.
Why is Eternal better?
I don't know. They're both really good. So, Doom 2016 is really good.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal is also really good, but it feels like it's 2016 just a little faster. And I don't know if it's just how the game is because there's a few new movement options, or if it's just because I got so used to the 2016 mechanic of you stop moving, you die, and now I just have more ways to move. Because let me tell you, I spend like no time on the ground in Eternal.
Yeah.
So but it's good.
So I've never played Doom 2016. I'm probably gonna die a lot. You can't stop moving, literally.
No, you can. It's just that's how you die.
Oh, okay.
The
Doom 2016 was $20. Eternal was 50 or 60, so I went with 2016.
60, like I said, they're both really good games. Eternal is really good. It's, you know what? Honestly, it's probably best to start with 16, and then if you like it, get Eternal, because it is a straight up continuation. And if you get Eternal, you'll be all like, I don't know what's going on.
Probably gonna be like that anyways.
Just know, the Doomslayer. The only way that hell could stop him was by literally dropping an entire temple on him.
That's pretty badass.
Interesting.
That's it. They were all like, all right, this dude is quite honestly killing us. What do we do? And someone was just like, drop a building on him.
Interesting.
And then in Eternal, you punch a building.
I'm going to be playing mouse and keyboard instead of controller, which I'm used to. I'm downloading it on Steam.
I bought it on Xbox and on PC, and it works fine on either one.
Okay.
You just got to be an epic gamer.
Not so much an epic gamer anymore.
Oh, I can't believe you would even try to attempt this masterpiece with your lacking skills.
I know. Probably gonna be a laugh fest, but oh well.
Are you guys gonna get the new Xbox or the new PS5 or whatever it's called?
More than likely not.
I will eventually.
Yeah.
My Xbox is a glorified Hulu player.
Nice.
I'll use the crap out of my PlayStation 4.
Oh, good.
I thought about getting the PlayStation 4, once the 5 drops, because it should be cheaper, and getting some of the games I want, like the Spider-Man game and stuff like that.
Spider-Man's pretty good. I got it. I don't know. I'm not a huge console or PC gamer. I'd rather sit on the couch or chill out in my bed than sit in my computer chair. That, and I got like a 60-some inch TV I'd rather be on.
Oh,
than
dang.
My monitors here.
Well, that's nice, but for the most part, you can kind of essentially do that. A lot of games have controller. Yeah. A lot of games have the controller port or controller support, and a lot of the TVs have HDMI and all that cables. So.
Yeah, I found I can broadcast my TV from my PC, but I'm in my bedroom with my PC. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll just do that.
Hopefully, I kind of want to turn the guest bedroom into an office.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
But
I wish I had a guest bedroom to turn into an office. Right now, just record in my own bedroom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys? What do you guys? What stories you guys working on?
Well, there's one I'm writing.
Oh, what's that about?
I don't know yet because I'm not entirely done. But it's kind of a Lovecraftian kind of. I'm hoping it'll have a Lovecraftian feel to it.
Huh.
Just with some kind of strange god, deity, idol. So I'm still working through it. I've gotten about 9 pages written, but I don't know how it's going to end yet. I haven't mapped it out. It's one that I'm just kind of going on the fly with.
Huh,
It's
interesting.
a monster that when you see it, you poop your pants
Yes.
to death.
Death. Actually, that'd be pretty scary.
They call it the pee pee poo poo man.
Let me see if I can get. I don't know if Terratox is in the chat still. Let me see if I can add him in on our.
Okay, I probably can't hang out too much longer.
Oh yeah, yeah. We can end if you guys want. It's up to you guys.
If we do, I'll probably just go play games with my wife.
Oh,
She's got me into Conan Exiles now.
interesting. Huh. Yeah. I'm kind of torn right now. I don't know if I want to get the new Call of Duty. I feel like, but yeah, I feel like if they're gonna do the Warzone, like extend that over, then I might get it. But we'll see.
I need to look up the gameplay and stuff. I saw where a video got leaked online, and I go to hit play, and then it's it got taken down by Activision. So I was like, damn. So
Yeah.
I was late on that one, but no, I'm interested to see what it looks like. I kind of want to. I know there's some gameplays out now. I just got to go and look at it. So
Yeah.
the new one, I wasn't into it. I'm not a huge fan of battle royales. The only one I ever actually got into was Apex Legends.
Oh yeah.
But I only ever really played with friends, and so.
I liked Fortnite for a minute. For about a year.
Yeah.
I was into it. I don't know. I'm not a huge Call of Duty player. I liked Call of Duty World War II though.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent one. But that was also about the time that I kind of was building my PC. So by the time that fell off, I was essentially already done with consoles.
I really like the World War II zombies. That one, I was like really good at that.
Oh my gosh. You want to tell me how you do it? Because I suck at it. I can't get that far in it. Me and my son have been trying forever, and I think we get the first. I think we built the Tesla gun once and then died right afterwards.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I guess I
So
just
we've
get
been
lucky.
trying to play that.
I just get lucky because like the lobby I join, like we always get it. I need to re-download it and play it.
Did you play that 3-player online? If like me and my son played with you? Like,
Yeah, we could do four. We could do
joining
4-player.
Oh.
I'd have to add you.
Yeah. No, sorry, my son was talking. He said we couldn't, like, if him and I are local, we can't both play online.
You can both play online, yeah. Both of you, yeah.
Yeah, there
Okay.
should be a split screen option for it.
Yeah.
There used to be. I don't know. I might be a bit of an old man and remember the days when you could play with friends.
'Cause, boy, if you could come on and help us get through that game, it would be so awesome. We've been trying for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, yeah. I'll have to go re-download it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, on that note, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Oh, hold on, dog's barking.
The dogs have detected lizardmen.
Yes.
The ice wall has been breached.
About time.
It's all over.
All right. Well,
Yeah, let's say I'm actually getting a call, so
all right.
I might have to drop out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah,
thanks guys for coming on. I
I could
appreciate
be
your
on the
time,
bed
and
here in
Yeah, no problem.
you guys
Yeah,
are awesome.
Thanks, man. It was fun. Thank you for having us.
All right.
For having
Well,
me, at least.
I'll let you guys go, and we'll have to do it again sometime. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you, dude.
All right. See ya.
See ya.